Alright, what do we got? We got Hammer, we have a way to equip Hammer, and we have a creature for Hammer to be equipped to. So we have everything we're looking for here, we're going to keep. Hand could potentially be a little bit better, but this is a pretty strong, I think, turn 3 kill. Island Mishra's Bauble with Lurrus. Island and Lurrus. What could that mean? Thought Scour. Are they playing Mill? No. Bitter Blossom. Soaring Thought Thief. Oh, they're playing some sort of like graveyard rogue deck? Neato. Okay. Well, the Bitter Blossom is a bit of a problem since we want to be attacking with Inkmoth Nexus. Usually, having flying is good enough to just get in. Oh, Stoneforge Mystic off the top. Excellent draw. So we'll just go get another hammer so that we can attack with Stoneforge for 20 maybe. We'll see what happens. We have options now. Okay, so they choose to do nothing, which means they have counter magic up, which would mean putting our hammer onto the Inkmoth Nexus would be very, very risky. We could put hammer onto the Stoneforge Mystic, and then if they try and do something, we can Swiftfoot Boots on it. If they have Counterspell, we can just put a second hammer down. Okay, so the hammer works. That's great. Let's just hit them for 10 then. Okay, so I think they're going to try and respond here. The Swiftfoot Boots are going to be pretty strong. Saving our Stoneforge Mystic from the Fatal Push. Unless they have Spell Snare. So that's a great response from the opponent. We're going to lose everything that we were doing here. But we still have the Inkmoth Nexus and a Colossus Hammer in hand. So we do still have the potential to win a game. But with their untapped mana here and 5 cards in hand, we should probably just go get Lurrus. Oh, they have Cling to Dust. They're going to be able to get rid of our graveyard cards before we can get them back with Lurrus. That's annoying. Oh, looks like they missed a land drop here, so they're not going to be able to Cling again. But they do have 6 cards in hand, so it would be risky to go for the Inkmoth Nexus here. I think that we're still better off going for Lurrus and playing Stoneforge Mystic. They could have Counterspell, but we got to do something, right? We can't just sit back forever. Okay, so they have a Deprive. Wondering if I should put down Cranial Plating here. I could try and attack for one with the Inkmoth Nexus, but if they have another Fatal Push, I just lose it. We are in quite a bit of trouble here at this point, but this is a match that Defense Grid will be good in. So we'll have 3 of those post side. Here's a Bitter Blossom. Okay, so they have their 1 land up here. Fatal Push good to go, and then they just have creatures to kill me forever. Or to block forever, rather. I'm going to draw a card, see what we get. Another Cranial Plating. I'm going to go for it just because our situation just gets so much worse once the Bitter Blossom starts getting value. Okay, so do they have the Fatal Push? They do. No surprise. Alright, we're going to play on for another turn or two. We could draw a Paladin. Even a Stoneforge Mystic would be quite good. Paradise Mantle, we'll just hold on to that. If we draw Paladin, that'll draw us an extra card potentially. But this game is quickly starting to slide out of our grasp. Looks like they might miss another land drop here. That does mean that they have all spells in hand. Counter spells, removal spells. Mishra's Bauble. We'll do the Mishra's Bauble on their upkeep thing. This definitely looks like a deck that could play Thoughtseize. Okay, I lose Blinkmoth Nexus and Plains. Blinkmoth would have been pretty nice. Oh, I see. So Bitter Blossom is going to be milling me 2 cards a turn now because of the Thieves Guild Enforcer. That's cute. Was just checking to see that if it also had the text for when rogues do damage in combat or something like that, but it doesn't. Oh, I was supposed to do this on upkeep. Oh well, fine to do it now. Thieves Guild Enforcer, so they're going to be drawing another one of these on their turn. Oh, it has Flash, so they can just play it now. We do get Memnite, so that is a critter. We can play the Inkmoth Nexus. I think we'll probably, the game will probably be out of reach in another turn or two. We're not supposed to be playing so deep into turns here. We're on turn 9. Our deck really performs its best first 4 turns. So I think we're getting into garbage time. They're going to kill the Memnite. That's fine. I mean, not much we can do about it. Because that looks at converted mana cost, not at power toughness, for example. But, I mean, we already have 18 cards in our graveyard anyway, so that Drown in the Lock is going to be good to kill just about anything. And they go ahead and get Deprive, so yeah. They're going to be able to counterspell if we try and give the Inkmoth Nexus Trample. So that's 679, not lethal yet, but I mean, let's just wait and see what we draw here. But opponent has 4 mana untapped, 4 cards in hand. Stoneforge Mystic. We know they have the Deprive. So we can't even cast the Shadowspear because they'll counter that. Let's just concede. There's nothing we can do here. We can't block enough damage even. So we just showed them an extra card for free. Not ideal there. Alright, let's bring in the defense grids. The Disenchant, probably not. We would play the Celestial Purge over the Disenchant if we were looking to go that way, because it hits Bitter Blossom, and then it could also hit many of their other cards there. But I'm not even sure that we want to be running it. Definitely like the Swiftfoot Boots here. Think that Auriok Champion would be quite nice for this matchup, though, as a basically an unblockable threat. Put a hammer on a champ. They wouldn't be able to target it. We would just be able to attack through their fairies. Kind of missing the champ on this one. Alright, what do we got? This hand, not great. We have the Memnite Paradise Mantle to start, but we don't have any hammers or any ways to find hammers or any ways to equip hammers. So we're going to mull that away. Okay, we have a hammer. We have ways to equip hammer. We're light on lands here with the Castle Ardenvale being our only land, but we have Mishra's Bauble. I'm going to risk keeping this one, although this could absolutely lead to our first loss. Speaking of matches, of course. So let's see here. I think I'd probably get rid of Shadowspear. I like having two paladins. One could absolutely be thought seized or killed before I have a chance to play an equipment. We need the Mishra's Bauble here. Maybe we get rid of the Memnite instead. And we'll crack the Bauble on their upkeep. Okay, so they got a Cling to Dust off the top. It's going to take care of our cards before Lurrus can get to them. We can just hit 6 here. Alright, 2 cards looking for a land. Defense grid and plains. We got one. Okay. Kind of like playing just defense grid here. That'll grab a spell snare if they have it. Otherwise, our Puresteel Paladins will be a lot harder for them to kill once they get onto the battlefield. So they do have the island. Is this a spell snare or an opt? Ah, Thought Scour. Okay, so we get our defense grid. It's going to be a lot harder for them to be casting, interacting with us now. We have nothing to do on their turn. We'll skip through. Hoping for another land off the top. Oh, we got another land off the top. Wonderful. So let's play Puresteel Paladin and Colossus Hammer, I think? Or do we play the Shadowspear this turn? I think we just play the Shadowspear. No need to expose the Colossus Hammer to some unknown card. Okay, so we get to draw a card here. Paradise Mantle would be pretty good. Get another Puresteel Paladin instead. Okay, we only have 2 artifacts here, so we can't equip the Paladin this turn. But next turn it's going to be a Strong Attacker if it survives. We have nothing to do on the opponent's turn, we can just skip. Okay, they have the Fatal Push. But fortunately, because of the defense grid, we were able to draw a card for the Shadowspear. Oh, okay, so it's the Thought Thief that gets us to mill cards for their rogues. That makes sense. Okay, and then they cling my Mishra's Bauble. Get Ornithopter. Wonderful. Play a Paladin, then we'll play an Ornithopter. So if we put a hammer onto the Ornithopter, it won't be able to block the Thought Thief, but we could put the Shadowspear on it, and then it could block. Let's play the hammer and draw a card. Get another hammer. Okay. So we'll leave the Ornithopter with flying here. We'll put the hammer onto the Paladin, and then we'll just pass. We're looking pretty strong for next turn. Should be able to attack, unless they have 2 removal spells. We should be able to, I think, win the game on our next turn. Went a little bit slow here. We're heading into the latter half of turn 4. Need to evade double removal spell. Hopefully most of their interaction is in counter spells here. So they are going to attack. We'll block, I guess. Gain a life. Okay, and then they're going to destroy the Puresteel Paladin. Do they have another removal spell, though? Ooh, that could have got me. I wasn't looking at how the power here of the creature increases. If that had gone up to 3, I would have been in trouble. Okay, we should have it here anyway. Third, Puresteel Paladin. And second, Colossus Hammer. So that's GG. Yep. Okay, defense grid's doing their job there. Celestial Purge wasn't going to be very impressive there. But I still think it's worth having one in the deck as a way to answer a Bitter Blossom. So I think I'll keep it in. Okay, we have 16 minutes for our final game. We have Inkmoth Nexus, Puresteel Paladin, and Colossus Hammer. This is a keep. Opponent keeps as well. Let's see here, did they target themselves? Yes, they did. I mean, if they have two Mishra's Baubles, that makes quite a bit of sense, but they found a card they wanted to draw off the top. We got a secondary Puresteel Paladin, that's good news. They're almost certainly going to have an answer to the first one. Did they miss their land drop? Yes, they did. Twinless Twin, thanks for the raid. That's very generous. Thank you, thank you. Everybody just showed up all at once. All right. Como with a follow. Hammer time, that's the way to go. All the cool kids are doing it. Alright, so they have 2 mana. Putting the Puresteel Paladin down is probably going to be dangerous. We got another follow here. Twinless Twin, thank you for the follow. Okay, so we get an Ornithopter. That's not too bad. It means that we could use the Puresteel Paladin as a lightning rod. And then put the Ornithopter down, and maybe we could put Colossal Hammer onto the Ornithopter next turn with Puresteel Paladin. It's worth a shot. Would definitely prefer to have a Paradise Mantle, but we aren't that lucky. Alright, what do you got? There's no defense grid down, so you gotta do something. They're gonna play a creature this turn. Okay. Paying the life for the Watery Grave. I guess we block here. Because this goes up to 2 when there's 8 cards, right? Yeah. No. No one has ever said that. Oh, cool, cool. Thanks for saying so. Okay, so with all that mana, what are we going to do? We could play double hammer here. Oh, I wanted to play the Inkmoth Nexus over the Castle Ardenvale. We already had enough white mana. We should have gotten this thing going so it wouldn't be summoning sick. No, now we're going to have to wait extra turns to attack with it. I am just considering if I should be playing the Puresteel Paladin here as second one, or just more equipments. Thinking I want to play more equipments. They probably have a removal spell, though. If we put down the second Paladin, we might be able to actually draw a card. Okay, there's a Spell Snare. And a Fatal Push on the Paladin. So we no longer have a way of equipping these hammers. That's a shame. Let's move on. So yeah, that defense grid, game 2, was enormous, basically turning off their counter spells. Meaning they had to cast their... So if I block here, I could potentially lose my Ornithopter to a Thought Scour. Not interested in that. No blocks. I'll take one. There's that defense grid. Drown in the Lock. Okay, now we'll play the Cranial Plating. Hopefully that will resolve. Oh, they have a Spell Pierce? Alright, they just have all the counter magic. I know, who even knew the defense grid was legal? That thing was printed old border. There's his legacy. It's one of those cards that is from the same kind of vein as Blood Moon and Warship. Good question. Probably not. Leaving a... I mean, they might as well just have a blocker, right? We have the Inkmoth Nexus. We could draw Sigarda's Aid. Who knows what could happen? I mean, that deck was just ridiculous, right? Alright, let's activate the Inkmoth Nexus. And attack in with Lethal in our Heart. Okay, so they got 3 cards here. They must have a kill spell, right? Either that or a counter spell. I still think we go for it. We can maybe get Lurrus next turn. Okay, so the hammer is going to resolve. We could put it on the Ornithopter so that they still take something if they have nothing, but if we put it on the Nexus, then they just lose if they have nothing. Of course they have something. Alright, so what's next? I think next we get Lurrus. Oh, Stoneforge Mystic. Do we do this instead? Probably. We probably Mystic this turn. Okay, that resolves. Let's go get another hammer. Okay, let's see that next removal spell. There it is. House of Mana. Thanks for the follow. Oh, that was VPJO as well. All kinds of follows up in here. Awesome. Thanks, everybody. Hey, handsome. Welcome to the party. Alright, I don't think there's anything else we can do here. We'll just pass. Thieves Guild Enforcer, so they're going to start milling us double time. Puresteel would be pretty nice. I think I got 1 left in the deck. No, that was the other game we played, Puresteel after Puresteel. Looks like we got 2 left in the deck. No point in blocking here. We'll just take the damage. Okay, Paradise Mantle. That's nothing really special here. We are in quite a bit of trouble now, aren't we? We are going to lose against this silly deck. That's okay. Probably should have attacked there if we're not going to block, but they might summon another Thieves Guild Enforcer. They're only at 1 card left in hand here. Do we have a Ornithopter or something? We have Memnite and Ornithopter in the yard, so we could make a creature with the Lurrus. Let's see here. We take 6 here, go to 3, so the Thought Thief won't kill us next turn. I think that it's fine to leave the Stoneforge Mystic back 1 more turn, so we can use it to block the Thieves Guild Enforcer later. Oh yeah, we can make it there. We'll get that hammer equipped. Okay. Almost there. They have 2 cards in hand. Ornithopter is a blocker. That's fine. If we put the Paradise Mantle onto the Stoneforge Mystic, we would have 1 more mana. But I don't think that gets us anything good from the graveyard here. Is there a hammer in there? No hammers in here, right? And none of the legendary spear thing? Okay. So let's leave the Paradise Mantle in hand. So potentially we could draw a card next turn when we play Puresteel Paladin out of the graveyard. They have counter magic here for the Lurrus. We're pretty toast. Okay, Archmage Charm. So we're dead. That gets us. Gonna have to chump the Enforcer and then hope to draw a Puresteel Paladin off the top. Okay, Mystic Sanctuary lets them put a good card back on top, but they don't have it yet. What a combo. Dark Slick Shores, Mystic Sanctuary. Alright, so we go to 1. They're saying there's still a chance. Nope. No more chance. All our chances are gone. Good game. Not too big a fan of this hand, though. No hammers, no way to equip hammers. This hand has no lands. Better. We have a way to equip hammer. We have a hammer. We have lands, and we have to get rid of 2 cards. So I think I really would like to keep the Paradise Mantle. That's brutal. Well, we wouldn't be able to keep the, we wouldn't be able to equip the Paradise Mantle because we're playing the Sigarda's Aid anyway. So we're going to go Ornithopter into Sigarda's Aid into Stoneforge Mystic. So we get rid of the Memnite Paradise Mantle here. Okay. Play the Ornithopter, play Sigarda's Aid. Go. Okay, so we're playing against Oops All Spells, it looks like. We just draw the hammer off the top? Okay, well let's attack now. No reason to wait. Let's get them dead a turn earlier. That seems pretty good. Simian Spirit Guide, Manamorphose. So they're looking for something here. If they can find a Braid, they can get rid of our hammer. I don't know what Oops All Spells could be trying to ramp into on turn 2 here, though. Oh, maybe they just have it. Oh, wow. They just have it. This is the Charbelcher version, and they just turned to us. Wow. I mean, it is what it is, right? Let's see the deck first. Yeah, I know. I just want to see the deck. Okay. Looks pretty standard. Okay. So let's see here. How are we going to do this? Pithing Needle seems good. I think that's basically all I want to bring in. The Disenchant isn't going to be fast enough to deal with the Charbelcher. So we're not going to want to bring that in to be diluting our own plan. But the Pithing Needles are great. So we're going to need to take out 2 cards. We'll take out Swiftfoot Boots and Shadowspear. I don't think we need Trample. And the lifelink, I don't think we're going to do enough lifelink for it to actually matter before the opponent would be dead. So those 2 cards seem bad. Disenchant might not be bad. There could definitely be situations where, exactly, sometimes they'll play the Charbelcher and let it sit on the field for a turn. So there would definitely be some argument for bringing in Disenchant. I could probably take out a Cranial Plating and maybe a Paradise Mantle. Alright. Y'all have convinced me. But I don't think anything else here is going to do us any good, so we're going to submit here. Ooh, good point. Forgot about the goblin thing. We do have the Pithing Needle. We have a hammer. We don't have a way to equip the hammer yet, but I think I'm actually going to keep this 7. We can put the Paradise Mantle onto the Ornithopter to start. Yeah, I'm going to keep this. We are missing 1 card, a way to equip the hammer, but we're almost there. And we have sideboard cards. I think it's good enough. They'll have to get rid of the Pithing Needle before they can go for the Charbelcher win. Looks like they mulliganed once. Okay, make your own Bird of Paradise. Ooh, we get Sigarda's Aid. So, if we want... Okay, so Sigarda's Aid, Steelshaper's Gift, and Hammer cost 3 mana. So we won't be able to attack with Hammer this turn. It's not possible. But we can play Sigarda's Aid, Steelshaper's Gift, and Pithing Needle. And then attack with the Hammer next turn. Goblin Charbelcher. And we'll go get a hammer. Not a bad turn, too. Okay, they're going for it. Whatever it is. This could be the goblins. If it's the goblins, we'll probably want to wait until we get a second hammer, so that we can swing overhead. Ooh, no, what's this? Deals a bunch of damage. Oh, okay. I mean, that kills our creature and stops us from doing hammer things. Okay, Steelshaper's Gift does get us another hammer. Unfortunately, we are not playing Flare Husk, so we can't use the gift to go get a creature. Just go get another hammer here so that when we do get the chance, we can just go double hammer. If we draw another land, we're looking at bringing Lurrus back. Okay, we have nothing we can do this turn that's worthwhile. Puresteel Paladin's worthwhile. Don't mind playing that out. Unfortunately, we are missing a little bit on lands. We only have the 2 artifacts, so we can't equip the Paradise Mantle yet. But next turn we're looking at attacking for lethal. Okay, I think we got it. Don't need the Lurrus, just need to attack with 2 hammers. Okay, kind of lucked out there. Don't think I want to change anything about the sideboard though. We don't actually have any cards for the Goblos. I mean, the Shadowspear could definitely do something. Especially like the life gain could be relevant. I'm wondering if I should bring in Shadowspear for the goblins. Oh, yes. Sometimes I forget that there's a one-of path in the main. Thank you, House of Mana. Yeah, literally nothing. It should have gone, for sure. Thanks for catching that. Okay, so we have the Pithing Needle, but we have 2 of them. We have mana, but we have no hammer and no way to equip the hammer. I would like to mulligan this hand. Okay, this is much better. We have a pair of hammers and a way to equip the hammer. We also have Disenchant, one of our sideboard cards. We're going to have to get rid of something. I'm thinking probably the Stoneforge Mystic here. We could also get rid of one of the lands, but I'm not really a big fan of that. We could get rid of the Disenchant, and then we could go get Hammer, play Puresteel Paladin, and then get Hammer. That's still pretty awkward. Definitely going to keep. Oh, yeah, I guess, eh? Everyone's going back to work after holidays. I mean, I did work last night as well, but I've been working fairly consistently over the last month. What am I going to get rid of here? I think it's between Stoneforge Mystic, Disenchant, and Silent Clearing. I'm going to get rid of the Stoneforge Mystic. It just doesn't quite fit with the mana plan. And I would like having the Disenchant as a safety blanket. Ooh, Ornithopter off the top. That's pretty decent. Okay, let's get the hammer and pass the turn. We need one more artifact for the Puresteel Paladin to work. And there it is. So next turn we'll be able to put a hammer and a cranial plating onto one of our creatures. Won't quite do lethal though, unfortunately. So it might be... I'm wondering if it would have been worthwhile to only cast one of them, but the Puresteel Paladin requires that we cast both. Okay, so they put this into play untapped and then pass the turn, paying 3 life for that. Inkmoth Nexus. Ooh, that's a good draw. Is the, are the goblins... That's a sorcery, right? Ooh, the land to cycle. Could be. Yeah, that's probably what it is. So we can't kill them with the Inkmoth Nexus. We could leave the Disenchant up if I just cast the hammer. Also, if we like draw hammer off the top with the Puresteel Paladin here, then we might be able to just win this turn. So let's see what we draw with Colossus Hammer. We get another Stoneforge Mystic. Not bad. Okay, so our choices are play Cranial Plating and attack for not lethal, or hold up Disenchant. If we hold up Disenchant, we can kill them next turn with Inkmoth Nexus. So I think we probably go a little bit slow here and just hold up Disenchant and try and kill them next turn with the Nexus Hammer. Might as well attack with Puresteel Paladin, right? They're not going to be able to block it somehow. Okay, so they drew 3 cards. Their hand is back up to 6 now. This is their opportunity to make it work. It's true. Disenchant possibly does nothing. But possibly it means we don't die. Okay, so they do have 2 red. Okay, but Shatterskull Smashing is a sorcery, so they're not going to be able to instant speed kill our Inkmoth Nexus. I think we might have it here. Another Colossus Hammer. That's pretty cool. Oh, they have the Spike Field Hazard. Okay, but if that's their only interaction, we're still going to win. Thank you. Definitely want to float that mana. Oh, and they have a Lightning Bolt now, too, for the Puresteel Paladin. So that really got me. Wasn't expecting the Lightning Bolt. Not going to be able to equip my stuff anymore, but I could go get Lurrus. So it's either Lurrus or play Stoneforge Mystic. I think Lurrus is going to be the best option here. That'll get us our Puresteel Paladin back in a couple turns. Opponent's at 3 cards in hand. And it looks like They aren't able to put any pressure out yet. Okay, so if we play Lurrus right now, it's definitely possible they could kill it. I would be a little bit more comfortable if we had one more mana, so we could play the Puresteel Paladin immediately out of the graveyard with the Lurrus. I could play Stoneforge Mystic and then go get Paradise Mantle, and that'll get us our last mana. Okay, and we'll pass here with Disenchant up. We could also play the Cranial Plating, or we could play the Colossal Hammer, but then we would lose the Disenchant here. I don't think that we need to keep the Disenchant up. I think that it's probably fine to use it as a sorcery, because it's not going to work as an instant anyways in response to whatever they're doing. They'll have the mana to be able to equip it. So I think we just play the Colossal Hammer, so that we'll be ready to go with the Puresteel Paladin. Oh, they're going for it. Oh, they're going to kill all our creatures. Okay. We could still draw land off the top here. And I'll probably just play the Lurrus Ornithopter, even if we don't get land. We do get land, but it's colorless land. So we're not going to be able to play the Puresteel Paladin out of the graveyard with the Lurrus. But we can play the Ornithopter, and that's good enough. Or we could play the Stoneforge Mystic. That would probably just be strictly better, right? Go get another hammer, I think. Opponent just passing the turn to us. Okay, we got really lucky there. Opponent wasn't able to find their pieces and gave us too much time. They had a focus on interacting with what we were doing, and we managed to value them out because of the Lurrus. Okay, so we have creatures and hammer. We have extra hammer, but we're missing a way to equip the hammer. So this hand is pretty close. We're missing one card from our combo. I'm wondering if we're supposed to keep this. I think we're probably supposed to mull it. I think a random 6 where we have all 3 of our pieces is just going to be better. But if we're playing against Blitz, all in on plating. Yeah, let's attack with our 2/2 Ornithopter. Let's go. I'm going to mull this. This is a way better hand. Get rid of probably Memnite, because they're just going to die to Lava Darts. If we wanted to, we could even Steelshaper's Gift for a, what's the name? The Paradise Mantle, but I don't think that's going to be good. I think we just go get Hammer. Alright, that's our turn. Okay, there's the Lava Dart. Cranial Plating. I think I want a Steelshaper's Gift and go get Paradise Mantle so that I could draw an extra card with Puresteel Paladin, even if I don't get land next turn. Okay, so they're passing with double red. So they'll have some way to interact with the Puresteel Paladin. I won't be able to keep it. I'm just going to go get Lurrus this turn. And we'll see if we can waste their turn here. Manamorphose during my turn. And they get nothing out of it. They just draw a card with Manamorphose. I mean, that's a win in my book. Okay, so they're tapped. They Manamorphose into nothing. I mean, into land, I guess. Mishra's Bauble. Okay. So our choices here are to Puresteel and hope they don't have a... they have Bedlam Reveler? Oh, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, that's what's going on. Okay. If we play the Puresteel Paladin, we potentially don't get any value out of it if they have Lightning Bolt. I'm more interested in actually playing the Lurrus here, so that I can double Mishra's Bauble. Manamorphose on top. And we'll just play the Mishra's Bauble again. The Memnite would just die to a Lava Dart. I probably wouldn't, actually. They would probably want to keep the mana, the lands. Here's a Lightning Bolt, killing the Lurrus. And we'll stop on their draw step and see what's on top. Mountain, so... Okay. So they have Mountain on top. Manamorphose in hand. No, they just cast the Manamorphose. So, unknown. Let's draw 2 cards. Get another Puresteel Paladin. That's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and throw one of those onto the field. And see if we can get a Paradise Mantle to stick. Oh, it does. This could be really good for us. If they don't have a way to answer this Puresteel Paladin, and if they did, they would be doing it before I draw these cards. So we're just going to put a hammer onto it. And opponent sees the writings on the wall and concedes. Okay. So... let's see here. We only saw red. So I think Purge is in order. Tormod's Crypt I don't think is going to be doing enough. Pithing Needle doesn't seem very good. Defense Grid. Defense Grid doesn't seem too bad, actually. It's going to stop them from casting Lightning Bolts on our turn. So I'm actually kind of interested in this Defense Grid. Yeah, I'm wondering if I should go all the way and just bring in the third defense grid. I feel like having 2 might be good enough for a red deck, but they're probably going to be bringing in like a braid or something as well, so we could easily lose the grid at some point. Don't mind taking out another Memnite though. Memnite dies so easily. They just throw a dart at it and it dies. So we have all the pieces here. We're going to keep this. And we draw a defense grid. Neat. That'll be a nice turn 2 play, actually. I think that... I know, right? I think that we might be just fundamentally misunderstanding what the opponent is playing. Because why wouldn't they play turn 1 creature? But they're not playing Obosh. There's a lot of questions about what the opponent is doing. Speaking of questions, I'm wondering if I should play this Inkmoth Nexus immediately. Probably, because I'm not going to be playing Puresteel Paladin turn 2. I'll have plenty of time to get more planes out. Okay, so we're looking at defense grid next turn. And then, depending how we draw, Puresteel turn 3 or Stoneforge turn 3. Ratchet Bomb. Okay. So Ratchet Bomb can be pretty good against us. That could get rid of our defense grid. But if they want to tick up for that, that's fine. I'm wondering if I should just play Stoneforge this turn. I should probably just play Stoneforge this turn. Go get Hammer. It's pretty close. I'm going to get the defense grid down. Have them work the Ratchet Bomb up towards defense grid. See if we can kill him with that Inkmoth Nexus. Okay, let's cast this secondary Ornithopter, and we'll just pass here. They want to Ratchet Bomb our Ornithopters, that's totally fine. They didn't put a counter on their Ratchet Bomb. Oh, they just have the Abrade here, so they're literally waiting to use the Ratchet Bomb on the 2 Ornithopters. Would have sent the message. You know, you're right. I had another one to block. I was just thinking, like, what if they play, you know, 2 Swiftspears? Then I would look like a chump. Alright, they're tapped out. We get a Colossus Hammer. So we could play the Puresteel Paladin, play the Hammer, put the Hammer onto an Ornithopter, and then they have to Ratchet Bomb. And then we'd be looking at putting the Hammer onto an Inkmoth Nexus the turn after. Okay, so they're getting rid of the Ornithopters now. But I will still be able to draw a card. We get Paradise Mantle. Let's cast that. Draw another card. Sigarda's Aid, that's a good draw. Okay, pass the turn. We can't do the free equips yet. Don't have Metalcraft. Okay, so I just saw this. How do you put the Stream Decker overlay onto Stream? So I didn't actually do anything besides sign up for the service. So if it's showing up, then they did it themselves. Okay, Firebolt to get rid of the Paladin. Nothing we can do about that. But Sigarda's Aid might still get us there. Ooh, Shadowspear. Okay, they're going to Lightning Bolt the Mystic, so we can't put a hammer onto it in response. We could put the Shadowspear onto it, but that's not enough to save it from the Lightning Bolt. Gonna go get another hammer and pass the turn. There's a Soulscar Mage. Okay, 3 cards in hand. They got 3 mana up. Let's see here. We can go get Lurrus. What else can we do? We could try and win with the Inkmoth Nexus, but I'm pretty sure they're going to have something to stop our party. We're just going to get the Lurrus here. Another Ratchet Bomb. They only have 1 mana up right now. 1 mana is all they really need, though. Ooh, we get a Path. Okay. So what are we going to do here? We can play the Lurrus and then put the Puresteel Paladin into play. I think that seems really strong. It's going to take them a while to get the Ratchet Bomb up to a point where they could really do anything. Actually, at 1 is pretty good. It's going to get rid of Sigarda's Aid and Colossal Hammer. But we'll have replacements. Ooh, I just realized we're actually missing an artifact here. We don't have the ability to equip. That sucks. Oh well, it is what it is. We have no more plays. Ratchet Bomb is at 1. It is threatening our hammers. Ooh, the Kozilek's return here is pretty strong. Another Colossal Hammer. Ooh, this is actually really good. I think we win here. No, we don't. Because the secondary hammer won't be able to resolve because the Sigarda's Aid will be gone. Okay, so we don't win. Ooh, Swiftfoot Boots. Alright, I think we just have to pass here. We can't put any of our equipment onto the board because Ratchet Bomb will just kill it. We could attack with the Inkmoth Nexus, though. And we could force them to use the Ratchet Bomb this turn. But that would cost a Colossal Hammer. It might be worthwhile. So I'm just deciding if I want to spend a Colossal Hammer to get rid of the Ratchet Bomb. Because otherwise it's just going to sit there, right? This will also get rid of the Soulscar Mage for us. Okay. We're actually still pretty even on resources. Ooh, Bedlam Reveler. Okay, that draws them back up as well. We have the path to answer it, but definitely a pretty strong line from the opponent there. Okay, so we'll put a stop on their draw step to get rid of that Bedlam Reveler. Otherwise, I think we just attack with the Inkmoth Nexus. No, they have a Lava Dart in the graveyard. And we can't Swiftfoot Boots at instant speed because we no longer have the Sigarda's Aid. So I think we just have to pass here. We could put the Shadowspear into play just to like use our mana in case we get another Puresteel Paladin. If we get another Puresteel Paladin, though, we're going to want to draw cards. So we're just going to pass the turn here, and we'll pass to exile the Bedlam Reveler on their draw step. Ornithopter. We're not drawing anything too impressive here, but we could put the Swiftfoot Boots onto the Ornithopter. See if that'll stick. It does. Okay. So it has hexproof now. And if we put the Shadowspear onto it next turn, that'll be good. Be able to start gaining life. Alright, let's wait one more turn before we cast the Spear, just in case we draw a Puresteel Paladin. Probably should have equipped the Paradise Mantle to the Ornithopter while I was at it. Okay, so that's 4, 5 damage. We could just be dead here. Yeah, there's a Lava Dart. There's another Lava Dart, so I think that's lethal now. Because this is going to be going to 8, and this does 2 more damage. Yeah. I don't think I actually want to change anything, though. So we're just going to resubmit. Alright, this is a terrible hand that we're going to mulligan. This hand is very close to being good. We're going to keep this. We'll get rid of one of the Sigarda's Aid. Okay. Next turn, we're either looking at putting a plating onto the Ornithopter, start attacking for 2 or 3, or we could put down Defense Grid. Get in for an extra damage this way. Not quite the aggro plan I had in mind. Ooh, this, they don't get a land. Okay, they had one in hand already. Makes sense. Another light up the stage. What do we get? Hammer? No hammer. So we could pitch the Silent Clearing and see if we could find hammer off the top. Find a Stoneforge Mystic, which is honorary hammer. So we could put the Stoneforge Mystic into play this turn. Or we could put the Defense Grid into play. I think probably the Stoneforge is the best way to go this turn. Go get hammer. Okay, that's our turn. Opponent has a lot of resources here. 6 cards in hand, 3 cards over here. The Bedlam Reveler I don't think is going to be cast, but they have the Mountain and the Swiftfoot. Oh, and who knows, if they have enough Manamorphose, they might be able to cast the Bedlam Reveler, but I think they would have to discard a lot of cards. Crash through? Okay. I would have figured they would have wanted to play the Swiftfoot before crashing through, but to each their own, I guess. No way am I blocking that Swiftfoot. If they have another spell, they could kill our Stoneforge Mystic. And we want to... Yeah, because they could kill the Ornithopter, and then the Stoneforge Mystic would die. Not into that. Would much rather play Defense Grid Colossus Hammer on my turn. Oh, we even get the planes for it. Nice. And if they try and kill something in response, I can Colossus Hammer to save it. Okay, that works. So that's 4, 5, 15 damage with the Ornithopter. Makes it 16 with the Stoneforge. We put them to 1. Or do we keep the Stoneforge Mystic as a blocker? Let's do it this way. We'll put them to... Yeah, we'll put them to 1. Although this is a little bit loose. Hopefully they don't just kill us. We have 2 lethal threats. Might have been better to just attack with the Ornithopter. Okay, so one of the cards they're doing is a Braid here. So that gets rid of their my flyer. But it's not damage to my face, so that's good. Okay, this all makes sense. And a light at the stage. Oh yeah, the spear would be a great draw. Stoneforge Mystic gets us the spear. We also have, what's that? The 1-drop sorcery that gets us the equipment. That would also work. So we have a lot of draws. Inkmoth Nexus. Okay. So they have to block the Stoneforge Mystic here. And then I think we probably just go get Lurrus. You think the Stoneforge is a blocker? I think it's an attacker. They have to block. So that's going to be preventing all the damage that it would have been preventing as a blocker as well. Oh yeah, the land is a blocker. Definitely agree with that. Too bad we can't attach the Cranial Plating to it. If we want to keep the land as a blocker, we don't get Lurrus. Okay, so they have the Lava Dart for it. That sucks. And they have the mana to Lava Dart during our turn. Oh, not anymore. Oh, and a Bedlam Reveler. That's brutal. Alright, we're going to need to draw pretty well right here. Still got a lot of good draws, though. They're going to lose the Sunbaked Canyon. I mean, they can't use it. They could use it to draw a card, but they can't use it for mana. Another defense grid? Come on, deck. That's not what I was looking for. Alright, so we attack with Stoneforge Mystic. They block with Soul Scar. So it might actually be worthwhile to keep it back so we can block the Reveler instead. Let's just go get Lurrus. And we'll pass. Puts us to 8. Lava Dart puts us to 7. Oh, they have Lightning Bolt. We're dead. That's brutal. But we cannot keep this. Our only land is Inkmoth Nexus. And that does not cast Sigarda's Aid. We must mull. This hand isn't great. We don't have any creatures or any ways to equip the hammer. I think we must mull again. We're going to have to keep this. We got to get rid of 2 cards. We get rid of the Path and a Silent Clearing. And then we'll have Memnite Paradise Mantle turn 1. Turn 2 Stoneforge Mystic. And we'll just have to hope to draw well. Okay, so Breeding Pool. Definitely not Is It Blitz. Gilded Goose. Okay. Get another land off the top. I'm just going to play the Stoneforge Mystic and pass here. We'll go get Hammer. And another goose. Goose is on the loose. Opponent has so many foods. Oh, and the foods makes the Emry cost so much less. Starting to come together. And by that I mean I don't think we have very much time. We get Steelshaper's Gift. So we are missing on a way to equip the hammer. I think that we probably put Lurrus in hand and play Steelshaper's Gift and go get the spear. Because we're going to have some chumps to get through. Okay, so they're getting the Chromatic Star instead of the Mox Amber. So they must be wanting to draw cards. Figured even if they were light on lands, I mean, they're not really hurting for mana, right? They got the geese. So they might as well draw cards. Okay, so opponent has 2 mana. We're not drawing very well here. Might actually want to sacrifice a Silent Clearing here to see if we can draw into a something better, because our hand just isn't doing anything. Okay, we get another land. We could play the Lurrus, but that doesn't give us any value. So we'll play the Shadowspear. And then equip it to the Stoneforge Mystic. And then we can start attacking. It's not for much, but it is something. So we're at turn 4. So it's not looking good at this point. We really want to be presenting a much more aggressive board state by this time. So opponent has had all this time to do whatever, and now our equipment can no longer be attached. By normal means, they're going to be able to be searching cards out of their sideboard. And that's really going to shut us down. So they go get Engineered Explosives. That's a pretty good one. I mean, they could even put that down for 0. And they do. They have the ability to cast it with the Gilded Geese. It would destroy the foods anyways. Okay, they're going to go get Mox Amber. Okay, they're going to activate the explosives and then put the amber into play. And they'll be able to bring the engineered explosives back ad nauseum with the Emry. So we're just in a whole heap of trouble here, unless we can find Sigarda's Aid right off the top. So this hits them for 12, or we can kill the Karn. If we don't kill the Karn, we're probably going to regret it. Well, yeah, exactly. We top the 8. No problem. The problem is it doesn't kill them. Puts them to 1. Or 2, rather. It doesn't even put them to 1. It puts them to 2. So I might have to kill the Karn. And then they can bring back engineered explosives on 2. And then kill my Stoneforge Mystic. Yep. That's true. But, I mean, while we're trying to reassemble, they continuously explode. We did. So we have no answer for the Emry. Not anymore. We already committed to the Sigarda's aid here. Okay, here come the explosives again. Probably on 1. Get rid of most of our board here. That would get rid of their geese, but their geese aren't producing mana anymore. They need to start making food. Yep, engineered explosives is on 1. And they go ahead and make a food. Get rid of all of our stuff. And we draw another Sigarda's 8 off the top. Okay. Play the Lurrus. Play the Memnite. Ooh, okay, here's the Urza. So opponents really doing their thing. Their game plan is chugging along just fine. And there's the EE41. So that's gonna, doesn't hit anything on our board currently, but it would hit the Sigarda's Aid hammer that we have access to. I think so. Because this doesn't specifically say that the auras in your hand have flash. So equipments have flash, and then I can just play the card whenever. So, yeah, these would be instant speed. The problem is the explosives here. And they have mana between the food and the construct. because of Urza. So they'll be able to crack the explosives and take out my Sigarda's Aid, my hammer, whatever I do. All right. Let's see here. I think that we just pass here. Could play the Sigarda's Aid. That would be my only one for the Engineered Explosives. So that's not really a good trade for them. And it works our mana. Maybe I should have just got Cranial Plating there. Don't have a lot of artifacts, but it would still be... Ooh, Underworld Breach. Pretty sure we're dead. So we don't have anything we can do with our permanents, with our cards. So we're going to hit 6 and allow the opponent to show us what their deck can do with an Underworld Breach. Something about Grinding Station? Ooh. Okay. So, what, do they mill themselves out here? Oh, okay, no, I haven't actually tried the Core Outfitter. What did you cut for it? Are you playing fewer of the side equipments like Cranial Plating and Paradise Mantle? So they're comboing here. Looks like... Well, they didn't make a mana that time, but I think they can make a mana every time they go through this iteration. So they'll have quite a bit of mana until they mill themselves out. And obviously at that point they'll have some way to just win the game. I just don't know what it is yet. Thassa's Oracle. Okay, that makes sense. So they mill themselves to empty and then Thassa's Oracle. That's not something that we'll be able to interact with anyway. But it is good to know what the opponent is doing, because this is the first time I have seen this style of deck. It's been quite some time since I've seen Emry and Urza together. They could just have the Thassa's Oracle in hand. Oh, okay, so you're playing the Springleaf Drum instead of the Paradise Mantle. Okay. I really like the Paradise Mantle because it draws us cards with the Paladin. Do like the Core Outfitter, though. I think that's a pretty solid card choice for this deck. We have a lot of ways to find the hammer. We have the hammer itself, so there's 8 ways to find the hammer, and then the 4 hammers, so that's 12 hammers, basically. And then we only have 8 ways to equip the hammer, being the Sigarda's Aid and the Paladin. So having the Outfitters would be nice to kind of bridge that gap. Okay, so they have 5 cards left in their library. The Thassa's Oracle must just be in their hand. There it is. Okay. So let's see here. Pithing Needle seems good. Might be able to Tormod's Crypt in response to what they're doing. I think Tormod's Crypt is probably pretty good. They're very heavily focused on graveyards. Disenchant. I'm not sure if it's quite good enough, because the creatures are more the problem, and the way that they're able to continuously cycle through things. Oh, that's fair. That's fair. Well, I have a lot of good cards, but I don't want to overboard as well. Yeah, that's just it, right? I am running the risk of bringing in too many cards. I like Pithing Needle, I like Tormod's Crypt, I like Path to Exile, I like Disenchant. I'm wondering if the Disenchant is really where I want to be. Might be better off to run another Pithing Needle. I wasn't really considering it. They seem to be very combo focused, doing things on their own turn. They did very little to interact with me on my turn. I'll go for the 2 Pithing Needles, so we can name Emry. We have the 2 Tormod's Crypt, so we don't load up too heavy on that. I'm wondering if I need the Swiftfoot Boots. Alright, we'll take the play, show him the cat. Alright, so we have 1 land. Ornithopter, Sigarda's Aid, Colossus Hammer. This hand is great. We even have the Tormod's Crypt. We just have it all. So we're going to play Sigarda's Aid into Ornithopter and hopefully start swinging in for 10 on turn 2. Unfortunately, we don't have the turn 2 kill. But we're setting up for the turn 3 kill. Let's just go ahead and do this at the proper timing. Alright. What do you have to respond to my hammer on Ornithopter? They got a Steam Vents. They have a Lightning Bolt? Of course they have a Lightning Bolt. One of the best cards in Modern right there. Ooh, and they have a Spell Bomb? That's a pretty good way for them to deal with whatever I'm doing. Hopefully we get a land off the top so we can play the Stoneforge Mystic here. Nope. No such luck. Okay, so we have the needle. We could use it to name the spell bomb. I also don't mind playing a second Sigarda's Aid. This way, if we have multiple creatures, we're going to be able to put triggers down onto both of them, so that if they kill one creature, in response to the hammer targeting it, we can put it onto a second creature. Really want that land off the top, we get another Pithing Needle instead. Alright, so we want to play Pithing Needle at this point. The question is, what do we name with it? Spell Bomb would be one name we could put down for sure. I think that we keep the other one for something better, though. We could just name Karn. Naming Urza would probably be quite strong. I think we probably, yeah. Let's name Urza here. Let's see here. High Lord Artificer. Doesn't stop the mana? Shoot. That's right, non-mana abilities. So this is only actually going to stop the 5 mana thing, so that was definitely a punt. Jukawal, if you want to go ahead and throw up the exclamation punt, because that was definitely the wrong thing to name. We get a path, so we could path our Memnite to get that land. That's one of the problems with this game. Streaming this game. If we move a little bit too quick, we're not going to get the feedback in chat. There can also be quite a bit of a time gap. So we probably still have to play our other Pithing Needle here. Probably name Karn with it. Because we have the Tormod's Crypt to neuter an Emry. They crack the Chromatic Star, so I'm not going to name Chromatic Star with a Pithing Needle. And the Wooded Foothills. Okay, very smart opponent. It would have been nice to actually have caught you that way. So we have an overabundance of our sideboard cards here. Definitely wish this Pithing Needle was naming the Spell Bomb. Okay, there's Urza. I wonder if opponent is going to show off right away that they can still make mana. Nope. Maybe they don't know. Oh, no land again. Alright. I think that we probably path the Urza, but they could spell bomb it, right? So they could get it back. It would cause them to lose their spell bomb. So I think that's probably worthwhile. Let's go to draw step and path their Urza. Ah. Yep, that's true. Wasn't thinking too much about Cryptic Command. Kind of thinking that the opponent's deck would be very focused on this combo thing they're doing, but they could absolutely find room for some decent counter spells. I wasn't paying enough attention when they were comboing out, so I didn't pay close enough attention to what they could be possibly drawing. Repeal, that's interesting. So they repeal the High Lord, and that means that they won't be able to cast it again this turn. They're also tapped low, and they no longer have the... oh no, this is just tapped. So they can still use the Spell Bomb. Okay. No land again. We could put the Shadowspear onto the Memnite, start attacking with it. Their one creature is tapped. I mean, there's not much else we can do. That's pretty cool. Urza's a really strong card. Alright, don't think they're going to be using the Spell Bomb for this. Seven turns, only one land. But look at the board. That one plains has done work. It's cast a lot of spells. And we kept this on the strength of a 10-12 Ornithopter on turn 2. Opponent had the Lightning Bolt though, so it was a very different game from what we'd expected. Okay, so opponent has Urza and Grinding Station. We can no longer attack with the Memnite. They have a 5/5 ready to block it. Tormod's Crypt is doing nothing. Oh, we finally find a land, though. Let's put this Stoneforge Mystic into play. Go get a hammer. And we'll pass the turn. Oh, I think they just tried to do the Urza thing. Good job, Pithing Needle. You actually did something. Okay, so that's 12 damage coming at us. We aren't dead yet. Stoneforge Mystic. Okay. So they have the Aether Spell Bomb, which is going to bounce one of our dudes. So I think we have to play the Stoneforge Mystic, so we have 3 blockers, otherwise we're dead. Oh, They have Lightning Bolt for our head, so we're dead. So we have Hammer, we have creatures, but we have no way to equip the Hammer. I'm actually leaning towards keeping this, though, because we have the turn 1 Memnite Paradise Mantle and Mishra's Bauble to start looking for cards. A little bit of a risk, but I'm going to keep it. Hopefully we find Paladin or Aid quickly. I'm going to cast out our hand here. And we'll Mishra's Bauble during the opponent's upkeep, so we do not expose ourselves to a Thoughtseize. Snow-covered Island is what the opponent drew. But that doesn't cast Lightning Bolt, so it's not what they played. We find the Paladin. Okay, we're almost there. Let's see here. With the Paladin, do we have enough to cast everything? So we go white, play the Paladin, play the Paradise Mantle, put the Paradise Mantle onto the Memnite, play the Stoneforge Mystic. So we have enough mana for everything. The question is, will the opponent let us do everything? Yeah. That plays around the removal on Puresteel Paladin. We could just play the Stoneforge Mystic, pass. Oh, I see, and we would be able to play the Hammer. But then we wouldn't be drawing cards with the Puresteel Paladin. Maybe that's not what this is about. I always want to draw cards with the Paladin. That's one of the things that I focus on. Maybe that's wrong. Get the Hammer. So we could play the Hammer now. Yeah, we probably want to get the Hammer onto the field so that we can equip it to something that isn't Puresteel Paladin. All right. Let's see what they get with that Scalding Tarn. A Triome. They are playing red, so they do have access to Lightning Bolt. We potentially have access to a lot of mana next turn, depending on how the opponent plays. Oh, Wrenn and 6. So they're tapped out. This is going to kill one of our Memnites, which is actually a problem. But we'll be able to use the Blinkmoth Nexus to move the Paradise Mantle once, and then we'll be good to go. And they might actually tick up Wrenn and 6 here to get the Scalding Tarn. It's possible. I don't think it's right, but it's definitely possible. Okay, opponent's having a good think about what they want to do with the Wrenn and 6. And they decide to kill the Memnite with the Paradise Mantle on it. I believe that the opponent made the right choice. But we're still going to have a pretty strong turn. Okay, we get land off the top. Yeah, we're going to do that right after we equip. Ah, just the plains. Okay. So, let's see here. We have 2 mana, basically. So I think we attack them with Memnite and attack Ren and 6 with a Stoneforge Mystic. And then pass the turn. Don't think we do. 11, 12 damage is all I can do. No, this is not the Infect land. This is the other one. This is Blinkmoth. Attack them. We could attack the Ren and 6. I don't think there's much of a difference between attacking the Ren and 6 and attacking them with the Stoneforge Mystic. And then we'll equip our creatures with Paradise Mantles and pass the turn. We're going to leave the Colossal Hammer on the Memnite. It's one of our least valuable creatures, except that it's so large. But what I mean by that is if they have some way to remove the Memnite from the board, we'll still have our Puresteel Paladin in that case, which means we can still move the hammer around. Okay, they cast Uro. That gives them a land and a draw, so they're looking for Path. Pretty sure we should have it here, though. Yep. Okay, so opponent is playing Money. I should be a lot more familiar with that deck than I actually am. Gonna want to take out Memnites. Might even want to take out all the Memnites. Alright, let's take a peek. Yeah, we should definitely be bringing in Defense Grid. Looks like they have Stony Silence. That's a bit of a problem. Don't know if I want to bring in the Disenchant for it, though, because it's not really going to hit anything else. All right, let's see here. Bring in the defense grids. And we bring 2 Memnites back. Could also bring in Tormod's Crypt to get take out an Uro. Oh, EE, huh? Good choice. Hammer time's the way to go. Alright, we only got a couple seconds left. Oh, 40 seconds. In between bringing some Memnites back in or bringing Tormod's Crypt in. I think we bring in the Tormod's Crypts. I want to keep one path. I'm fine with keeping the Swift Boots. Shadowspear actually doesn't seem very good in this one. Probably take out the Shadowspear, put one of my Memnites back in. All right, game 2 of match 5. Okay, so we have Hammer, we have a way to equip Hammer, we have creatures. This hand is a keep. Okay, so if I play out both of my creatures, the worst thing that could happen would they Lightning Bolt my Ornithopter and then Wrenn and 6 my Memnite. What if I wait a turn? If I wait a turn, that means I can't attack with them next turn with the hammer on them. I don't think it's worth waiting. So should I play both? Probably. I'm going to play out both. If they have Lightning Bolt into Wrenn and 6, that's the worst possible case. But I want to be able to start attacking next turn. If we draw Hammer, this is the turn 2 kill. Okay, so they have red mana up and they're passing the turn. So we're not going to want to go for anything because of Lightning Bolt, potentially ruining our day. So I think we just attack with Memnite. If they blink, we can Colossus Hammer. Otherwise, we play Stoneforge Mystic, and then we'll have 2 hammers next turn. And 2 hammers is twice as good as 1. All right, let's see if they blink. I don't think they will. What is this, mana leak? Yep. Okay, next turn we can put Lurrus in hand. Oh, we get another Stoneforge Mystic. I don't mind casting the Mystic. Let's do that. Go get a secondary hammer. Okay. We'll just go ahead and attack, I guess. Attack for 1. Let's attack with the Ornithopter as well. And if they make any move, we can put the hammer on either one. Otherwise, we're not going to blink ourselves. Too late. I already stopped. It's too late. What happened? What should we have done? Hammer time. Nice. Oh, that's awesome. Thanks for the cheers. Love it. Happy New Year from the Crypt. And congratulations on being the cheer leader. Field of the Dead. Okay. Good spot to be in, I would say. All right. Let's go to our turn. Ooh, we get Defense Grid. Don't mind if I do. I'm going to throw Defense Grid on their face. You must respawn. Well, they might as well think now, because once this defense grid resolves, they won't have any thinking to do. They'll be dead. I guess they could have Force of Negation. Oh, they're going for a path now? Sure. Well, they can't have Force of Negation anymore. And that resolves, so they have nothing. We have 2 hammers. We win. Sigarda is all about giving hammers to the needy. Okay. So we managed to get half of our play points back, winning that last match against the Beam Lord. While our showing wasn't too impressive today, I would definitely say this deck has legs. I think that people are prepped for it now. It's been in the spotlight long enough. It's been winning challenges, so people have started to pay attention and are playing, both playing cards that are very good against our deck and have learned how the deck works. So unlike when we were playing with Yawgmoth, we aren't getting as many free wins. And that's true too. That's true too. Sometimes you get unlucky. Sometimes your opponent gets very lucky, and there's nothing you can really do about that. Yeah, so that's fine. I would still absolutely recommend this deck to anyone that wanted to get into Modern. First off, not very expensive. Secondly, extremely powerful. This deck has a turn 2 kill. It's actually surprisingly resilient as well. The Puresteel Paladin and the Lurrus allow us to actually outvalue some of our opponents. Big fan of the defense grid in the sideboard. Definitely like that switch. Did also definitely miss Auriok Champion. We fought a lot of red decks, and I like the idea of having a creature that is protection from red and black, which are going to be 2 of the best colors against us. So if they can't Lightning Bolt and they can't Fatal Push our creature and the only option left is Path, I think that we're in a pretty solid spot. So I might try and put the champions back into the deck somehow. Maybe cutting one of the crypts. I don't really know how I could even get it back in here. I would probably have to take out the Celestial Purge. That might be worthwhile. I'll do some more thinking about it, but I think I would definitely like to get the champion back in, especially considering how this deck has a target on its back. The main reason that we took champion out in the first place was that when you cast a Puresteel Paladin, when you have a champion in play, a trigger goes onto the stack. So you're not able to immediately equip something with the Paladin, and your opponent has the opportunity to Lightning Bolt the Paladin before you can put the hammer onto the champion. So, I mean, that is something that does come up. The black-white version seems better than mono-white. Interesting. I mean, you do get access to Thoughtseize. Definitely really like the Thoughtseize in this list. I think that's very strong. And then I think there were some sideboard cards you got as well, right? Oh yeah, Unearth. Unearth is pretty good, especially when you're playing a Lurrus deck. All right, well, thanks everyone for joining me.